Hey, it's Kim, and we've got to talk about Britney. Before we get super into the video, I did just want to remind you to please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching it. I really appreciate it. I've learned that apparently people don't subscribe unless you ask them to. Sorry. The Sun is reporting that Britney's autobiography tell-all book has been delayed due to objections from two A-list celebrities. Reportedly, the anonymous stars have had their lawyers send letters to Britney's publisher as they fear what Britney has written in the book. And this has apparently caused so much of an issue that there are now concerns about whether or not this book is actually going to come out. After I recorded this video, a source confirmed to Popcorn Planet that the two Hollywood stars are Justin Timberlake and Colin Farrell. I did not know this when I was filming, but I think my points are still relevant. I did want to mention that The Sun has reported previously about Jamie Spears' objections to the book, and that he would be pursuing legal action if he was unhappy with what was in the book. Two exclusives about this book to The Sun kind of makes me wonder if these stories have been strategically released, and I can't see why Team Britney would do it. Now that's just speculation on my part, but it does look weird to me. And while I was researching, I saw a lot of rumors going around about who the mystery celebs were. My favorite theory was Christina Aguilera, which is obviously far-fetched, but I was reminded of this.
Yeah, we were at a club and she came to me and she put her tongue down my throat. Like, hello, I haven't seen you in 2 years. How are you?
Not gonna lie, I did wonder if one of the A-list celebrities that sent this letter could be Fred Durst. And I mean, I know he's not very A-list, but after that interview he did with Howard Stern, he should be scared.
He told us already that you ate. This is what you said. I got to clean it up for the air. That you ate her very bad place, the worst place. Were you like pinching yourself?
Yeah.
America's sweetheart.
How's that salad?
How was salad?
Man.
I gotta know. Does she like dirty talk? Like, can you get dirty with her? Like, oh, come on, baby.
Yeah.
No.
Fred, I gotta know, man. Are they real?
They're
real.
The boobs are real.
They are real?
Oh, nice.
You all know that I try to be the nice person and give people the benefit of the doubt, but I hope there is a full chapter in this book dragging this man. I also wonder if, since this story has been released, if other celebrities will consider doing similar action just to try to protect themselves. But here's the thing that I think is important to remember. If it happened, it's not defamation. If it's factual, it's not grounds for defamation. If Britney has evidence, it's not defamation. And again, if it is Justin Timberlake, I don't understand why you thought you could do all of these things to all of these women and none of them would ever say anything about it. He could throw the biggest temper tantrum in the world, but that doesn't change the fact that karma is knocking on his door and she has been coming for a long time. Overall, Britney has kept her mouth shut about a lot of things throughout her career. Yes, she has been more outspoken since the conservatorship ended, but overall, she's really kept a lot of things to herself. You gotta remember, for years, Britney was trashed daily and didn't really seem to seek any type of vengeance. She tried to be the bigger person through a lot of controversies, and I remember in the early 2000s how many celebrities and other musicians would drag her on a regular basis, would accuse her of certain things, say that she had no substance, all those types of things, and Britney just continued to work and succeed. But the one topic that seemed to never go away when it came to Britney Spears was her and her sex life. And it started with a 16-year-old girl being pressured into talking about her virginity. And this type of thing went on for years and years and years, and it almost seemed like her sexual status became public domain. I think a great example of this is that wonderful interview that Britney did with Diane Sawyer in 2003. Now, admittedly, this interview did not age well for a number of reasons, but it does really show how Britney handled a lot of the negativity that was thrown at her throughout her career. I did want to show you guys one part of this interview. So Diane Sawyer is absolutely grilling Britney about her relationship with Justin. And at one point in this interview, Britney is actually driven to tears. And in this interview, they decided to air multiple clips of Justin Timberlake basically trashing Britney or talking about their sex life. One of the clips in that interview that they showed was actually from Saturday Night Live. And because it's Saturday Night Live, I know that I can't use that clip and show it to you or else they would strike me for copyright. But basically, Justin is poking fun at women who say that they're virgins and they're not, because in secret he hid it, basically. And then they also showed the clip of him on the radio station confirming that he did it or they did it or whatever.
Or whatever.
He is just the classiest human being on the planet. The whole thing is just gross. And then in this interview, Britney is asked by Diane Sawyer about how she felt about Crimea River. So I do have to stop and start this and add commentary for fair use purposes. I will put the link to the whole interview in the description below if you would like to watch it for yourself. So they're just talking about Crimea River.
When did you see it for the first time, the video?
I saw it. I was on vacation, and someone called me and told me that it was going to come on, and I watched it, and I was just like, I was kind of in denial. Like, I went in this whole denial phase or whatever, but it's fine. That's the way I don't want to judge him or anything like that, because that's the way he had to deal with what happened.
I just want to say, even right there, like, you can tell she's going to start doing this thing with her arm that she's really uncomfortable, and she's trying so hard to not throw him under the bus and to be the bigger person, but you can tell how much it's bothering her inside when you look at her. And honestly, it just breaks my heart that she's in this position, that she doesn't want to do this interview. And we know now from her talking about it that she didn't want to do it in the first place, but she's trying still, even after Justin has made this whole campaign to humiliate her, to shame her, to launch himself into a higher level of fame and success as a solo artist. After all of that, she's still reacting in a way that she's trying to be a better person.
And, and that's fine, but I know that if I was in a relationship and something happened, I couldn't really go there, but it's all good.
And truthfully, she did not. Actually, there was a song that she wrote that was supposed to go on In the Zone, which at this point, that album has come out. And it was called Look Who's Talking Now, and it was full of references of their relationship, but she decided not to release it. But earlier on in that interview, she also said that there's two sides of every story, and kind of alluded to that she wasn't comfortable sharing hers in full because she wanted to keep some things private. That was the vibe I got from this interview, that's how she felt. But again, it's her choosing to not dive into this media circus and try to make this a bigger thing, and she's trying to show respect to him even after he has been so disrespectful to her.
Let's talk about something else.
The call he made about Crimea River, what lesson do you learn from that?
I guess to really look out for yourself. Just to look out for yourself.
If you were talking...
Like, that is so sad right there. And I also just want to point out that she said, like, let's talk about something else. And Diane continued to go, like, this interview is so gross. There's so many things about this interview. One day I should just do a video about this interview and just rip it apart. I feel like I come back to this constantly when I talk about what was so disturbing and horrific about the media at this time. I also did just want to keep in mind that this interview aired, I think, about a week and a bit after the MTV Europe Music Awards, which were hosted by Christina Aguilera. And through that whole hosting gig, at one point, Justin came out and they had an interaction. And in this interaction, there was an adult doll that they implied reminded them of Britney. I'm not kidding. I didn't make this up. Literally, at this point, Britney Spears was the butt of every joke. She was slut-shamed constantly. But Britney's high road attitude was definitely noticed by other people in the industry. There are many heavyweights that have openly spoken up about their support for Britney. People like Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Elton John, Madonna. People who have been in this industry for a really long time, and they support her and they're rooting for her, even to this day. I think Britney does deserve to be able to tell her side of the story after all of these years. After all, she has had to sit back and watch the world create a narrative for her. I think it's high time she takes control, and maybe these people that are so terrified of what she has to say should have thought of that when they heard her in the first place. I also wanted to add that I have seen the news about the new TMZ documentary that is coming out about Britney.
Disgusting!
My view on this is TMZ remains trash. I would not place any credibility on what they are saying, and at this point I'm not even sure if I'm going to watch it because I value my sanity and like to protect my brain. I also really don't want to give them the attention, but if it is egregious and I can debunk it, I may make a video on it in the future, because I am all for people talking about the truth of what has happened, not sensationalized garbage. Well, that's the video. Please remember to like and subscribe. And if you really like this video, feel free to check out my membership option and you can join our community of Space Angels. I put a lot of extra content there and it's a lot of fun. Well, that's it. Much love. Bye.